Have you ever got back from a shoot, looked through the footage on your phone and thought, oh my God, that looks horrendous. How did these look so bad? It didn't look like that when I was filming. Well, you are not alone. Our mobile phones are amazing video cameras, but there are some things that they just really struggle with. So there are a few things that I avoid filming because I know that my camera on my phone just can't cope. I figure it's best to know what our limitations are so that we can avoid doing those things and just concentrate on what our phones film brilliantly. So I'm going to give you my 3 top tips of things to avoid filming with your phone, plus a few hacks to work around them. So the number one thing I avoid is contrast. Now, have you ever taken a shot maybe in the summer or on a very bright day in winter where there are really bright parts of your frame and very dark shadows in it as well, and it's really hard to kind of see any detail in them? That's contrast, and our phones basically can't cope with that very well at all. So you can see here in these few shots that I've taken that there's not really very much detail in the shadows and the highlights because our camera just can't cope with all the information from the different parts of the image. It's trying to kind of even it out. So there are a couple of things that you can do to work around this. The first thing you can do is try to reframe. So think about whether or not you can take the shot from a different angle. Can you move the frame in so that you're more cropped? Perhaps you can crop out some of the shadows or the highlights and make the frame less contrasty. The other thing that you can do is come back at another time of day. So if you're shooting a building, for example, like this one here, if I came back at a different time of day, like first thing in the morning, the sun would be in a totally different place and it might be a much softer, more even light, and I can get a much better shot with my phone than I would be able to say now when the sun is very low and there are all these stark shadows and lines across it. So the second thing to avoid is using the zoom. I know there are loads of amazing features on our phones, but this is not one of them for video. So if there's something you want to get a shot of like these dudes playing basketball across the park, do not use your zoom function. You can see as I start zooming into this picture how quickly the image starts looking bad. It gets really pixelated, it looks really noisy, it's terrible. So there are a couple of things that you can do to work around this. The first and cheapest option is just to move yourself closer to the subject and frame your picture without using the zoom. So the second thing you can do is invest in a third-party lens. Now you can get some incredibly affordable ones online. They can start at around £20 or so. I use this Moment lens, which I adore. I'll leave a link for it if you're interested in the description below. But these lenses will mean that you can get a little bit of extra zoom out of the lens on your mobile, but without having to sacrifice the quality of the image. So the third thing I avoid is filming in low light. Now you might be quite surprised about what your camera thinks low light is. You might be looking at a scene thinking, oh, that's actually quite bright, and then you turn your camera on and realise that actually it's a black image. So you can see in this video that I shot in my living room the other day, in photo mode it looks pretty similar to how I was seeing it with my own eyes, but as soon as I flick it into video mode, the frame goes incredibly dark. You can't really make out any detail and the camera's really struggling to hunt for a focus. The quality is just not good enough. So this is a bit of a tricky one, but there are some things you can do to help you out. The main thing is to try to look for sources of light that are available to you. So is there a street lamp that you can use? Is there a shop sign that could help you out? Look for sources of light that are already there that you could take advantage of. The other thing is to make sure that all the lights that you've got available to you are turned on, or that you might like to buy a little light to bring with you so that you can illuminate subjects if you're going to be shooting in the dark a lot. So that's it, the 3 things that I try to avoid filming with my mobile phone. If you've got any recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Please post a comment below. Please like this video if you found it useful, and make sure you subscribe for more videos all about how to make brilliant films with your phone. I'll see you in the next video.